Colleagues, let me start with Volodymyr and say on this day of all days, I want to pay tribute to your leadership, Volodymyr. And friends, it is right that we mark this grim anniversary together. For 3 years, we have been united in opposition to Russia's barbaric invasion. And for 3 years, we've been full of admiration for the incredible response of the Ukrainian people. Their voices must be at the heart of the drive for peace. And I want to be clear that I hear them. I think of the soldiers and the civilians that I met in Kyiv just a few weeks ago in the ICU, the burns unit, the witnesses to the horror of Bucha, the school children I met living under constant bombardment, the soldiers training in the UK bound for the front line. Their voices echo in my ears. They inform the decisions that I take and the peace that I believe that we must see. So I have a very simple, clear message today. The UK is with you today and every day. From His Majesty the King to the NHS workers volunteering in hospitals in Ukraine, to the communities that took Ukrainian refugees to their heart. And that's why I signed our 100-year partnership with President Zelenskyy last month, because we believe in Ukraine's fight today and the country's incredible potential to thrive in the years to come. This is a time for unity. In this crucial moment, as talks begin, we must work together to shape the outcome. Russia does not hold all the cards in this war because the Ukrainians have the courage to defend their country, because Russia's economy is in trouble, and because they have now lost the best of their land forces and their Black Sea fleet in this pointless invasion. So we must increase the pressure even further to deliver an enduring peace, not just a pause in the fighting. And we can do that in 3 ways. First, by stepping up our military support to Ukraine. And the UK is doing that, providing £4.5 billion in military aid this year, more than ever before. We're doing more than ever to train Ukrainian troops, helping Ukraine to mobilise even further. And we're proud to have taken on the leadership of the Ukraine Defence Contact Group. Secondly, we must keep dialling up the economic pressure to get Putin to a point where he is ready not just to talk, but to make concessions. So today we're announcing the UK's largest packet of sanctions since the early days of the war, going after Russia's shadow fleet and going after companies in China and elsewhere who are sending military components. Later today, I will be discussing further steps with the G7. And I'm clear that the G7 should be ready to take on more risk, including the oil price cap, sanctioning Russia's oil giants, and going after the banks that are enabling the evasion of sanctions. Third, we must bring our collective strength to the peace effort. President Trump has changed the global conversation over the last few weeks, and it has created an opportunity. Now we must get the fundamentals right. If we want peace to endure, Ukraine must have a seat at the table, and any settlement must be based on a sovereign Ukraine, backed up with strong security guarantees. The UK is ready and willing to support this with troops on the ground, with other Europeans, and with the right conditions in place. And ultimately, a US backstop will be vital to deter Russia from launching another invasion in just a few years' time. So we will do everything we can to get the best outcome for Ukraine and for us all. And let me close with one of the voices I mentioned earlier, a patient called Petro from the burns unit that I visited in Kyiv. He said to me, if Ukraine fails, Europe will be next. And that is what is at stake here. That is why we will always stand with Ukraine and with our allies against this aggression and for a just and lasting peace. Slava Ukraini. Thank you.